So here's the problem I'm having from kind of taking a couple years. You know, so I finished in 2017. I finished 11 in the country.
11 in the country?
In the 45s.
How did you do in the national tournament?
So I won the back draw at the grass courts.
Oh, you did?
I won the back draw at the grass courts, and I lost in the round of 16. Or no, I lost in the quarters of the main draw.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Of the grass, yeah. So I did okay. So I have a friend of mine that has a grass court at his house in Baltimore.
Oh, nice.
So I'm able to train.
You're training on the grass?
On the grass.
Do you prefer that? Is that your favorite surface?
Well, it's my better surface.
You like to come to the net, I guess?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I like to move in. But one of the problems that I have as a teaching pro,
yeah,
and you have it, is, and I see you experimenting with your one-hander now. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. My two-hander used to be my best shot, but because I'm not able to hit out on it and really crank it, generate the racket heads, because I'm teaching 50 hours a week. And even
do you hit two hands when you teach?
Well, I'm going. Yeah. I mean, I can. Do
you though? Do you do two hands when you teach?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I do two hands when I teach. The problem is I can't really, the level of players that I generally hit with, I never need to bring it. I'm stuck. I get stuck in a teaching level.
Look, when I started teaching full time, and I was very young, I was 25, my level dropped significantly because your objective when you're playing against someone is for them not to get the ball, right?
Right.
And the objective when you're teaching someone is for them to get the ball. So you adjust your strokes accordingly to that. And you therefore ruin your stroke. You start pushing the ball. Now, as far as the two-hander, see, I don't really do any two-handers when I teach, simply because I like to have, balls in my left hand ready to go. And so that's why I started developing a one-handed backhand. But in any case, my two-handed backhand has gotten so much worse because I don't practice it.
Right.
My muscles have atrophied. My left forearm has gotten a lot smaller. And my two-handed backhand used to be my best shot, and now it's like weaker than my forehand simply because I don't use it. And it's from the teacher.
Right.
You know?
Well, I use it, but do I really use it beyond mini tennis, beyond me just redirecting balls for my students? Because our goal out here, and I get on my staff about it, is, are we really here to beat up on our students, or are we here to try to make them hit the ball we want them to hit?
Well, a couple of different ways to look at that. There is a time and a place to beat up on the student. I used to do the beat the pro thing. I think it's good to play full out against a student who's at a decent enough level. But I think when you're doing drills or when you're doing something with a purpose, of course you want to try to make the rallies as long as possible, and so they get a lot of reps in. It's not going to do them any good if you come out and you try to hit aces and you try to come to the net and finish the point off quickly.
Right.
They could benefit from that too, in a way. So I don't think it's a bad idea to play full out against someone who's a decent level. But see, as a coach, it's a really, in my opinion, a bad thing to think about your own game when you're teaching.
Right.
That should not be the objective. The objective is the student, and you kind of have to ignore yourself. So if you want to improve your game, a lesson is a really bad place to do that.
Right. Right.
Because it's very selfish to try to work on your game while you try to teach somebody else, right?
Well, I had a friend of mine who used to coach, and that's what a lot of what he did. He just came out and beat up on the students
and wanted to get a hit in.
And
right?
And that's what it was for him.
I've heard that.
Very little instruction.
Like guys want to just get a hit in. When I'm teaching, I'm not thinking about myself. I'm thinking only about the student.
Right.
I completely ignore my game. I don't even use my normal shots. I'm like dinking the ball around. I'm usually at the net, actually. I don't even hit ground strokes. So, but
like a guy like, who's the kid you were teaching, the good junior who was teaching, like
Soften.
So like, would he ask you, like, Nick, I want you to bring it 100%, or I want you, or what level were you playing at there? Were you playing 60%, or?
Oh, when we play points?
Yeah.
During that point play session? I was playing full out.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing full out. And we were doing the point play coaching that I do sometimes, where we just play out points, we don't keep score.
Okay.
Did I play set against him? I don't think I ever played a full set against him. But yeah, if I played him, I would have to play. I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah.
I would have to play full out.
Okay.
If I play, 20% less, he's gonna end up beating me. So I do have to play all out.
Okay.
Because he's a high caliber player. So in that case, I do think he could benefit from match play.
Okay.
But someone like Shamir, for example, if I play a match against him, he's going to benefit zero from that.
Zero.
I think so. It's the discrepancy in level is too high. So if I play a match against him, I would have to adjust my level accordingly and play closer to his level, because if I play full out, it's not going to be a match at all. He's not going to benefit at all. There's not going to be any rallies. It's going to be, points are going to be so short. I just made a video about this where I played college tennis. We had the top 4 guys who were good. I played number 1. The number 2 guy, like, he played on tour afterwards, was 500 in doubles, 1200 in singles. The number 3 guy was like 1200 in singles ATP. The number 4 guy was like Norwegian men's champion. But then the 5 guy was a lot weaker, and the 6 guy was a lot weaker than the number 5 guy. So I practiced with all these guys.
Okay.
Now, the guys that were on the bottom of the lineup, when they practiced with me, did they benefit from practicing with me by practicing with a better player? Not at all, because the scores were like 6-0, 6-0, or 6-1, 6-1. So the discrepancy in level was too high for them to benefit or for me to benefit. So we both didn't benefit. However, the other guys, lineup like 1 through 4, the level was close enough where both players can benefit from the practice. So I think when it comes to practicing and playing matches, the level has to be close. If there's too much of a discrepancy, neither player benefits.
Right. What about your students that come out and they go, oh, it was a great match. I played great. There were some great points. And we ask what the score is, and they say, oh, it was 0-0. I mean, we know that there's obviously different 0-0 matches going on. Rather, did you come out and win 4 points, or did you come out there and actually battle, and actually, and they just won the bigger points?
Is this in juniors, or are you talking about juniors, or?
I'm talking about adults. Adults and juniors.
Well, see, the thing about playing somebody who's closer to your level, it's more uncomfortable because there's more pressure.
Yeah.
The result is more uncertain. So when you go into a match against someone you're going to lose to 0-0, there's absolutely no pressure. So you go in that match and you feel comfortable, you feel good, you're happy. And if you win a game or 2, you have a big success. And when you go into a match against someone where the level is very close, let's say if 2 4-5s playing each other, or 4-5 playing a 5-0, level is close, there's a lot more pressure, there's more on the line, the result is more uncertain. And those are the type of matches that you can benefit from the most, from the mental aspect.
On the pro tour, some of these gals can get, and guys can get rolled. 1-1, 6-1, 6-1. It can happen.
It can.
And you're talking, both top 50 players. I mean, someone can have a little bit of an off day.
That can happen, but that's the pro level. The pro level is pretty even, though.
Yeah.
The pro level is, especially the people that you watch on TV, they're pretty even in level. I would say, yes, somebody can get blown out, but generally speaking, that's a very similar level.
Yeah.
But at the junior level and at the recreational adult level, there's a lot of level discrepancy. And like you said, some people are of the belief that if you simply play better players and get blown out 6-0, 6-0, that you're going to get better from that. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not just speaking from theory, I'm speaking from experience, having been a coach for many, many years, and also playing on a team for many years in college and playing on teams in Germany, that when you play against somebody that has absolutely no chance against you, neither player benefits.
Yeah.
So it's not like the number 6 guy plays 100 sets against me and loses 0 and 1 and 2 every single time. He's not going to improve his level.
Yeah. The other thing you put out on your videos, which I love, when you did your video on, what's the matter with my serve, which
series.
That series, which I loved, and you had all the comments, and I was going to comment, and there's things technically, but then when you put different servers, all of them together, it's like, what style, and then are they hitting the checkpoints,
right? And
it's like, you're in your mid-40s, I'm in my mid-50s,
yes.
And if you were to videotape my serve,
yeah.
Obviously I'm not kicking back, so my foot's, what we're doing maybe in your 20s, I'm not getting off the ground like the pros are getting off the ground.
Right.
My jump's probably like that high.
Right.
So it's like, well, is that style? Is it just age? Is it, or
well, have you ever watched the Champions Tour? I don't know what it's called now, but remember when some of the legends from the past play on the senior tour and they play matches with each other, and you see that the level declines a lot.
Yeah.
maybe not the guys that are like, maybe like Roddick, who was playing some of the tournaments. He's still young enough, but you know,
I saw Philippoussis.
He's still young enough to play well. But I think at a certain age, your athleticism declines a lot.
Yeah.
And so you're going to see some technical characteristics because of your decline in athleticism. For example, you mentioned like the clearance on the serve becomes lower and lower as you get older. I very much see that on my serve, and I made a video about that. I found an old clip when I was 16 and I was off the ground like this. And when you see me serving now at 46, I'm off the ground maybe like this.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just not something that I'm doing consciously. It's just naturally, and also because I don't train, my body, my athleticism is declining a lot.
Yeah.
And so the most frustrating thing is the movement. Right? Because when you don't move as fast, when your footwork is off, and it gets exposed when you play better players, is that you're not going to be in the right position and you're going to commit a lot more mistakes. I mean, there's a reason why you don't see guys over 40 playing singles on the ATP Tour.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. It's just the physicality goes away, your athleticism goes away. Injuries are also more likely to happen. You know, you play a really tough, grueling rally against a young kid and you might blow out your knee or hurt your ankle. That's what's happening to me. I got injuries all over the place. So that's the reason. Tennis is really tough, man. It's a very physical game. Hey Robert, so tell me about King Richard. You were the guy that was teaching lessons in the country club when Richard walked in, right?
Right. Yeah, there is.
Was that your only scene?
That was my only scene. So there was 3 teaching pros that had a part in that, and I was one of them. And it was on the credits as the baffled tennis pro. So yeah, I was quote one of the baffled tennis pros. So you know, at like the 2-minute mark in the movie.
Right.
You know, Richard comes up to me and you know he's got that homemade pamphlet.
Right.
And it was a real pamphlet. They copied it. They found it for the movie.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Like he wrote all these notes and drew pictures about the girls and their goals, and that's how he was seeking free training.
So you were with Will Smith on that
scene. So yeah, the Smith was Will Smith, and I was given a serving lesson similar to what you and I were just doing.
That's so funny.
And so they came. You know, he's like, yeah, and you know, we're looking for some free training. And you know, my line in the movie was, if I had $1 for every crazy parent that told me their kid would make it to #1, I'd be a rich man.
That was a good line. I remember before we even met. I remember that line. I knew exactly who you were in that movie when you told me you were in King Richard.
And that
was good.
Yeah, that I reached out to you after you did the review on King Richard.
That's right.
After you did the review, you're like, well, this is the best tennis movie, because that's one of the things.
It was a great movie.
That being a part of it, you don't know, because I just shot a scene.
Right.
So I was like, well, Will Smith's in it. We got the star power, but how, you know, I hope. My buddy who reached out to his friend to write the screenplay, you hope the pieces come together.
Right.
And I thought, and I agree with you. I think it did work.
Movie.
And right now,
it was one of the best movies about tennis, in my opinion.
You know, I agree. I mean, people bring up the Billie Jean King movie.
Didn't he get an Oscar, Will Smith?
He got a best Oscar for that.
I mean, there you go. That's amazing.
Unfortunately, what happened at the Oscars didn't help his star power. But from an inside scoop, I think they're writing a sequel to that.
Is that right?
They're writing a sequel to that, and
Will Smith's going to be in it?
And I don't know about the exact details, but it's, you know, the movie ended with Venus's first pro tournament, and this one's going to start with Serena's.
Serena, wow.
Yeah.
Are you going to be in it again?
Serena's. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I had to go up against 300 true actors for that part.
You're kidding me. You auditioned for that.
So I sent in a clip.
Oh, wow.
I sent in a clip for it because one of my friends is a producer on the movie. And he goes, Robert, you're not a member of the Actors Guild. You're not, you know, you got to audition for the part, because these are actors that need these parts. And so I auditioned and so I beat out 300 actors.
That's amazing.
But Nick, all we do is we're acting ourselves.
Right.
You know, that's what we're doing. So it's not acting for us.
Yeah, just be yourself. That was awesome.
Thanks.